ஸ்ரீங்கார கூடார்த்தமம்.
ஒரே நிமிஷம், நீங்க பேசுறது கேட்கல.
அப்படியா? ஓங்கார மர்ம பிரதிபாதினீभ्याम நமோ நம ஸ்ரீ குரு பாதுகாभ्याम. கேக்கலையா?
Like, I can hear, ma'am.
ஓகே.
கேக்குது.
சாரதா மேம், உங்க டிவைஸ் ஆடியோ செட்டிங்ஸ் செக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. பிகாஸ் எனக்கு இங்க ஜூம் மைக் வந்து ஃபுல்லா ஆன் தான் காமிக்கிறது. சிந்தூராருண விக்கிரகாம் த்ரிநயனாம் மாணிக்ய மௌலிஸ்புரத்தாரா நாயக சேகராம் ஸ்மிதமுகீம் ஆபீன வக்ஷோருஹாம் पाणिभ्यां मणिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापां मणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैः अहं नित्येव विभावये भवानीम् ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्थां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्रायताक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसदेव पद्माम्बराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दहसिते क्षणां सशरचापपाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीम् अरुणमाल्यभूषाम्बरां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविधौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम्. श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुंड संभूता देवकार्य समुद्यता. So in the last class we were able to look into Devi's physical form. So I wouldn't be able to recap the physical form as such, but let us understand it with the facts that when you talk about Devi's physical form, we are talking about pure consciousness. So it is not about a body made of flesh and blood. It's about a body that is Sat Chitan Ananda. Okay, pure existence, pure consciousness, and pure Ananda. So that is her physical form. And because it is so pure, it is also so very beautiful. So we saw a description of that beauty, which is beyond what a normal human can comprehend. Even the most beautiful of women will not be able to match up to that beauty, because we're talking about the ultimate consciousness, pure consciousness, and therefore there is beauty associated with it. So now we are going to start with the remaining part of the story. What did we see in the first part about Lalita Sahasranama? How did Devi arise? She arose out of the fire of consciousness. She had 4 hands, 4 ayudhas, Pasha, Ankusha in the upper hands, the Kodanda, which is the sugarcane bow, and the flowery arrows in her lower hands. And she arose with so much brightness, equaling that of 1,000 suns. And then we looked into the physical form. Okay, what happened after she arose? So after Devi's physical form is described, this thing is now spoken about. What did Devi do after she came? Okay. She's always been there. It's not like she's born or something, but she appeared in a form that we can understand, we could comprehend. So what next? That is the remaining, the next part in Lalita Sahasranama. Today, okay. So today we will try and cover the details about Srinagara and Bhandasura Vada. Okay. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to do it in one class. because a lot of detailing that is needed if you want to experience it nicely. So I will try and cover as much as possible. Okay. So the document has been updated. So I believe everybody is able to see my screen, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is not exactly Mandasura, I have to add it. This is the Srinagara description. So this is from Shlokas 22 and 23. Only 2 shlokas, but a lot of description needs to be spoken about when we talk about Srinagara. And then from shloka 24 onwards, it is Bandasura Vada. I want to keep it as Mardhanam. Shlokas 24 to 33.5. Yes. Right. So let us first try and cover the shlokas 20 to 23. Before we signed off in the last class, we looked into a very important description about Devi, Sarvaruna. Sarvaruna, her entire form is of the color of orange red hue, which is the color of the rising sun. The next description we saw is Anavadyangi. Her limbs, her angas, her limbs are flawless. Again, I would like to reiterate, this is because we are talking about a form that is pure consciousness. Anything that is pure will definitely be unimaginably beautiful. So, Sarvaruna, she is everywhere crimson red, she is everywhere orange red. Okay. And she is Anavadyangi. And she is adorned with Sarvabharana Bhushida. She is wearing all types of ornaments to show that purity is beauty, and that together signifies auspiciousness. When do we wear ornaments? The symbol auspiciousness, right? So she is Sarvabharana Bhushita. What did we see next? Shiva Kameshwarankastha. She is seated on the lap of Shiva Kameshwara. So what does this mean? In the story we saw Devi Lalita arose because the Devatas offered themselves in the penance. They offered themselves in the fire. And she came. What next? The Devatas hailed her. When they saw her, when they saw this beauty, when they saw the divine mother, okay, they were now planning to do something to organize the war with Bandasura. Okay, if you have to go to a war, now Bandasura is the king of Asuras. So you need someone to lead the Devatas also, right? Here, Indra himself, though he is called the king of Devatas, we need a leader who will match Bandasura. Now, because they have called to Devi for help, Devi has come, which means she has to be the leader. But according to Shastras, if someone has to be crowned as the king or queen, they have to be married. So the Devatas initiate the wedding of Devi. Now, where to find a match for Devi? She is the supreme mother. So the supreme father has to be the match. You cannot get any Tom, Dick, Harry walking down the road to come and marry her. The match has to be suitable. Tantra says that it was Kameshwara. He was beautiful, equally beautiful as Devi. They had similar forms. except that he was male and she was female. He is Spatika. He was as white as Spatika. Spatika is crystal. And she's as red as a hibiscus flower. Same kind of beauty, similar unimaginable beauty. He was the king of desires, Kameshwara. And so the Devatas got them married. So the Kameshwara, Kameshwari, Vivaha happened, the first thing. And therefore she is Shiva. She is the wife of Shiva. Shiva means auspiciousness. The form itself is auspiciousness. There's nothing more auspicious than Shiva Kameshwara and Kameshwari. And what is the next Nama Visa? Swadhina Vallabha. Her spouse is bound to her. He is not an independent entity. He is dependent on her. He is completely under her spell. Has she hypnotized him? No. Because of the prema between them, he is completely dependent on her. He is not paradhina. He is not independently functioning. His function is in line with Devi. So she has a Vallabha. She has a beloved who respects her, who follows her instructions, who is doing things in line with her wishes, who is completely under her spell because of the divine love, the prema that they have. That is the meaning of Swadhina Vallabha, the one who has a spouse who is under her spell of divine love. We are not talking about women controlling men. No, please don't get it under that perspective. That's not what we are talking about. There's a very beautiful shloka in Shivananda Lahari. Okay. Nija tapa phalabhyam. That is the word used for. The shloka is beautiful. I don't know it by rote, but this word has always stuck with me. Nija tapa phalabhyam. To obtain Devi, Shiva did a lot of penance. And to obtain Parameshwara, Devi did a lot of penance. And they got each other because they penanced for each other. The result of the fruit was they got each other. So, the Supreme Brahman, one is the male aspect, the other is a female aspect. They are probably different faceted, but it's the same entity. So I would like to quote, to understand what their concept is, I would like to take a small example from Kashmiri Shaivism. So Shaivism existed in Kashmir and in Tamil Nadu. So Kashmiri Shaivism takes this very beautiful aspect. They say, take a lamp. The lamp has energy. That is Shiva. The lamp has light. The light radiates everywhere. And because of that radiance, you know that the light exists, the lamp exists. That radiating energy is Shakti. The light is Shakti, the lamp is Shiva. Can you separate the light from the lamp?
No.
They're two different aspects, but in one. They appear as two different, but the same thing. If there is lamp, there has to be light. If there is light, there has to be a lamp there. You cannot separate them. The same example is given by Kalidasa when he says, Vagarthaviva sampraktau Vagartha pratipattaye jagatah pitarau vande Parvati Parameshwarau. How are Parvati and Parameshwara? Vagarthaviva sampraktau. Word and its meaning. There is word, Vag. Artha. Can you separate a word from its meaning? Two different aspects, but bound in one. So they are connected like the word and its meaning. The same thing is spoken about by Abhirama Bhattar. Sollum porulum tunaivarudan nadamadum poongodiye. He has taken see, they're all different people in different timelines. But whenever they have experienced Devi, they're saying the same thing across centuries in different languages. They have not cut, copy, pasted it. They have experienced Devi right in front of their eyes, and when they speak those words, the same thing is coming in different languages, in different timelines. So what is Abhirama Sollum Porulum? Can you separate a word from its meaning? No. So if a couple, if a man and a woman don't think again in terms of humans, especially now in this age, we are so very diluted. If there are two entities and they are so closely bound that you can never separate them in principle, what should be binding them together? Prema, divine love. That is the same equation between us, Jivatmas, and the Paramatma. The only thing that is binding us, which is why we are also part of that Paramatma, it is because we share divine love with Paramatma. Same thing. Which is why Parameshwara is Swadhina to Devi. He follows Devi's orders. So that's the importance of that Nama, Swadhina Vallabha. So, Kameshwara, Kameshwari, Vivaham happens. They are wedded. Once they are wedded, what is the next thing that has to be done? Pattabhisheka has to be performed. Devatas have to announce that they have a leader. She is Lalita Maha Tripura Sundari Para Bhattarika. She is the ultimate leader they have. She is the ultimate queen. So now they perform the Pattabhisheka. You can see this in all cultures. Especially now there's very little monarchy left. But the most famous monarchy that we can take this example from is the British monarchy. The recent coronation is that of Charles. Now his wife Camilla, she is queen because he is king. So they don't crown people separately. They don't announce monarchy separately. They have to be like husband and wife. So same way, Kameshwar and Kameshwari are crowned. But who is going to lead the Devatas? Maharagni. That is why we have this Nama, Maharagni. She is the Maharani. Okay. So once that is done, next the Shlokas 22-23 describe about Devi's residence. Now, why should you talk about residence? There are several reasons to it. One, she is the Maharani of the entire universe. She is here to protect us against the Danavas. So she should be having a very royal residence. One aspect. The second aspect. When we talk of Devi, we need to understand this fact that she arose from the fire of consciousness. So we are not talking about a human. Talking about a divine force. She's the Supreme Mother from whom all of us have come. Right? So, if we say she's residing somewhere, it means the pattern of the residence, the place where she resides, it has to be embedded somewhere in the entire universe, in every cell of the universe. So, this is a symbolic of that atomic pattern. The way it is described here, that is how the energy pattern, the same energy pattern with which she is residing, she is in every cell of this universe. I am not sure if we will have the time to explore where that every cell is. But let us first understand the magnificence of a palace. It is mind-blowing. Okay. So the city where she lived, it's called Srinagara. What is the city where she lived? Srinagara. There is enough historical evidence to suggest that the original Srinagar in Kashmir is probably where Devi's city was. There are 2 to 3 references about it. This can be viewed, Srinagara, the presence of Srinagara, according to Indian philosophers, it has 2 to 3, there are 3 ways of interpreting this. One is according to Indian Shastras, because there's always been a lot of description of the cosmos. It's never told that, the world is the only place. No. We've always spoken about cosmos. There are 7 into 14 worlds. Beyond that, there is Brahmaloka, Vaikuntha and all. So much description is given in our Puranas. So having said all that, it is always told that there is a central place called Mount Meru. What is that? Mount Meru. The Mount Meru is that mountain around which all these 14 worlds exist. Now this Bhuloka that we live in, it is at the south of, it is to the south of Meru. Where is this? It is to the south of Meru mountain. So one aspect is, on the Meru mountain, there are 3 peaks, the Brahma Loka, Vishnu Loka, Shiva Loka. And in the middle of the 3 peaks, there is a 4th peak where Srinagara is created. So that is one aspect. The other aspect which spirituality talks about is beyond all creation. Universe is created only. Beyond the universal creation, there's something called as Amrita Sagaram. The sea of Amrita. In that sea of Amrita, there exists a place called Srinagara, where Devi resides. Okay. So, what we have to understand is, the Meru mountain is around, it's a place around which all worlds exist. Macrocosm, the same pattern is there in all living beings. We also have a Meru. Our spinal cord is called a Meru. Meru Danda. And around this Meru Danda, our entire body exists. So the description of Srinagara in the macrocosm, in the universe, we have similar geometrical energy patterns in our body also. And there is a central point there where Devi exists within us as Jivatma. She is that force who operates us. Similarly, the same pattern is found in every living being. Everything in existence has a similar energy pattern at the center of which Devi and Parameshwara exist. Because they are there, we are there. What is there in the microcosm? That is there in the macrocosm. Ande Pindande. That is the word given in Upanishads. The structure you see in the universe, the macrocosm, the same structure exists even within a human body, even within a cell. Because that is how energy is transmitted. Okay. So that is the introduction to what Srinagara might be. So let us go into the description given in Lalita Sahasranama. Sumeru Madhya Shringastha. When a word Su is used, Su is a prefix indicating great or auspicious, something that is very glorious. So Meru is Meru Parvata. So Sumeru means the glorious Meru mountain. Madhya, in the middle of that. Which middle? Madhya Shringa. I told there is Brahma peak, Vishnu peak, Shiva's peak. In the middle of these peaks, there is Srinagara. Stha means standing, or she is there. So her abode is in the middle of the 3 peaks. Okay. In the middle of the 3 peaks, there is the 4th place on the peak of the Meru mountain. Okay. So that is Sumeru Madhya Shringastha. Okay. So the one who abides in the peak in the middle of Sumeru mountain. Okay. That is the meaning of this Nama. 53rd Nama, Sumeru Madhya Shringastha. She is the one who resides on the central peak of Mount Meru. Understood? Next. Shriman Nagara Naika. Naika means leader, ruler, master or mistress. Okay. Shrimat means, again, the word Shrimat is a prefix, which means divine, prosperous, auspicious. So, Nagara means city. So, the name of the city itself is glorious city, prosperous city. Right? So, she is the queen of the Srinagara. Sriman Nagara Naika. She has a name. If anybody says the queen of Srinagara, you have to know it is Devi. There is no one else, no second address, no second references. She is the Naika. She is the queen of the Srinagara. Sriman Nagara Naika. Okay. Let us first go by the shlokas, then I'll tell you what the descriptions say. Okay. Chintamani Grihantastha in Srinagara. There is a place called Chintamani Griha. Anta means within, Stha means stays. She is the one who resides within the Chintamani Griha. Chintamani house. What is Chintamani? Chintamani is a gem. Okay. Whatever you ask, it will give you that. So the reference to the Chintamani gem is in Bhagavata, where Satyabhama's father Satyajit used to possess it. And somebody stole and he said, Krishna has stolen this. So while Lord Krishna goes to find it and retrieve it for Satyajit, that is when he meets Jambavan. And his daughter Jambavati is married to Lord Krishna. And this is how he
Missing of blue stone or
Chintamani.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a gem which can full Samantaka Mani no adukku peru undu. Okay, it's a reference to this. It is a Chintamani. It is a wish fulfilling gem. Devi lives in a house made of these gems, not brick, concrete. No, her entire palace is made of Chintamani. Okay, so she has a name. What is her name? The one who resides within the Chintamani Graha. Okay, clear? Now, more description on how she is dwelling in the Chintamani Graha. She is on the Pancha Brahmasana Sthita. Sthita means the one who resides, one who abides. Where? On Pancha Brahmasana. Asana means seat. She has a special asana. What is that special asana? Made of the 5 Brahmas. Who are the 5 Brahmas? Brahma, the creator. Mahavishnu, the sustainer. Rudra, the destroyer. The 4th leg is Ishvara, the one who oversees the work of the creator, sustainer, destructor. He is called Ishvara. He is a leader of these 3 people. And the leader of these 3 people is called Ishvara.
Destroyer where?
Ishvara where? Okay. இந்த ஈஸ்வராவை oversee பண்றது யாருன்னா Sadashiva. Sadashiva has lied down as a plank. அதுக்கு மேல Devi sits. I can show you a picture here. Give me one. You would have seen this famous picture, very famous picture of Rajarajeshwari. Can you see this? Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishvara. On that, there is a plank where Sadashiva is lying. On top of it, Devi is sitting. Lalita is sitting. And she is served by Rama, Lakshmi, and Vani, Saraswati. So we are going to see a Nama in future. Sachamara Rama Vani. Rama and Vani are by her side, waving Chamara to her. You seen this picture, right? It's a very, very famous picture. Very often seen. The meaning of that picture is the Nama we just saw. Pancha Brahmasana Sthita. The 5 Brahmas On top of which she is seated. Okay, so what is this about 5 Brahmas? What are we talking about? So, to understand this, we need to go a little bit into Vedanta. Okay. There's something called as unmanifested Brahman. I want you to remember these concepts because it is going to repeat again and again when we see the meanings in Lalita Sahasranama. What is unmanifested Brahman? Okay. If something is created, it has to come from a place where it is not created, right? Logic. If you're drawing something on a paper, it has come from somewhere, right? Probably the mind, where it is not manifest. But there is some seed in the brain about that picture from where it has come. Okay. Similarly, if we see the universe, we see so many things are created here. It must have come from a place where it is not created. It is in a state where nothing is created, right? Similarly, we say that there is one God. We don't all, we not all of them are able to see him, but everybody, each soul can feel him, feel God's presence. Now, when we say there is a God, there is God, then there must be something before the appearance of, well, Lalita Devi has come from somewhere. Where did she come from? Some unmanifest form she had from which she manifested, right? So there is one divine principle from which everything came. And initially that divine principle was not manifest. It did not take a form. It did not take any name. It had no color, no shape, no form. It did nothing. There was no function. It had no work. That is called unmanifest Brahman. Brahman means supreme energy, supreme force. And that Brahman was not manifest. It did not have a name. It did not have a form. It did not have a color. It did not have any function, any attribute. Tall irukku, short irukku, wide irukku, ipdi irukku, abdi irukku, nothing. It had no gunas, no attributes. That is called the Nirguna Brahman. Yes, ma'am.
Is that Parabrahmam சொல்றாங்க இல்லையா அதுவும் அந்த மாதிரியா
Parabrahmam, but it has not manifested. It's in a potential form. Nothing has come. Then from within the Brahman, there came the Brahman with attributes. Okay. What were the attributes? It performed 3 main functions. It created something. What did it create? It multiplied itself in various combinations. Okay. What did it do? It had one attribute called creation. That creation was not creating anything new. It multiplied itself in combinations. From within that Nirguna Brahman, there came something called as Maya. Nobody knows why it came. But everyone knows what this Maya is like. The Maya is Jada Vastu. Jada. It does nothing. It is just there. So 1% Maya, 99% pure Brahman is called Sat Guna Brahman. Saguna Brahman. It has an attribute. It will create. That is called Ishvara. That one God we are talking about, right? We are saying there's only one God, one Parabrahman. That is that Ishvara. There's 1% Maya mixed with it. If that Maya was not there, there will be no name, no form to it. Ishvarangra per irukadu. It will not have the name called Ishvara. Then it is called Nirguna Brahman. Brahman without attributes. That 1% Maya that it has born from within, it becomes Brahman with attributes. It creates. And how does it create? It creates with Maya, the Yoga Maya, the material energy. That's Maya is material energy. Material energy means it does not function by itself. It needs the Ishvara's energy to reflect on it to function. That is called Maya, material energy. Perikala charitable materials. Does it do anything? No. When you apply some energy to it, it is used, right? That is called Maya. Maya or material energy. Okay. So that so Ishvara multiplied himself, that creation multiplied himself. So what are the three main aspects that got formed? Creator. That was given the name Brahma, not Brahman. I'm talking about Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma, Brahma with 4 heads. What did he use for creation? He used the Vedas to create. He used sound. Every creation happened with sound. The same thing is found probably in the Bible also. There was one word and it was called God, something like that. So every philosophy attests to this fact that creation happened through sound. Shastra says it is the Veda. Vedas is the breath of the Brahman. Nirguna Brahman or breath is Vedas. They are sound vibrations always available in all of the universe. Okay. So now it has 3 aspects. Brahma, the creator, who uses the Vedas to create the world. Then we need a sustainer, Mahavishnu, who protects, maintains. And then we need everything that is getting old in this creation. If something is created, then it will have a lifetime also, right?
Yes.
Simple. I'm creating this book. Okay. 20 years later, this page will not be like this. The pages would have turned yellow. The ink on it would have gone. The page would have become more brittle. Whether you want it or not, the page is going to get destroyed. So if something is created, it has to get destroyed. That's the rule. So there is a creator, there is a sustainer, protector, and then there is a destroyer. So these 3 functions, aspects of Ishvara came. So the creator aspect is called Brahma. Brahma needs knowledge to create. So his Shakti is called Saraswati. Mahavishnu is the protector. He needs the energy of abundance to maintain, right? So that is Mahalakshmi, his energy, his Shakti. And Rudra needs compassion. If you want to destroy something, you need to have compassion, which is Parvati. Now, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, where did they come from? Ishvara, right? The Ishvara is the one who created them. Okay? So, when the entire creation is destroyed, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra go back into Ishvara. This process is called Tirodhana. They get, even Saundarya Lari talks so much about this. They get mingled with Ishvara. And Ishvara goes to the Supreme Brahman. Who is the Supreme Brahman? Sadashiva and Mahashakti. They get merged. So Nirguna Brahman, it has one male aspect, female aspect, which is what we call Mahashakti, Mahashabhu. From them comes Ishvara. And from Ishvara, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. So where does Devi sit? She's on top of Mahashambhu. Understood? In Vaishnavism, the same male-female principle is told. Here we say it is Parameshwara, Mahashakti. There they say it is Mahavishnu and his consort. Same thing, Prakriti. Male, female, from which Ishvara is born. From Ishvara come Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. One creates, the another protects, the another destroys. They ultimately go and merge with the Moola Prakriti and Moola Purusha. The root cause, simple. This is the structure. This structure is being spoken about in this Nama. Now you've understood? Yeah?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
Devi sits on Pancha Brahmasana. So she is on top of Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishvara. And on top of them is Sadashiva. On top of them, Devi is sitting. Understood? Is it clear? So the sitting, the asana is a symbolic of this order of creation in this universe. She is that energy without which Shiva cannot operate. So there is Sadashiva. But who is operating Sadashiva? Devi. Which is why she is shown as a supreme ruler. So she is sitting on top of all of them. Or in other words, she is the energy that drives Sadashiva. From her energy, Sadashiva creates Ishvara. So Devi is within Ishvara also as his energy. And the Ishvara with this energy of Shakti creates Brahma and gives him the Shakti. Devi Shakti of Saraswati, of knowledge. Ishvara creates Mahavishnu and with him goes Devi Shakti of abundance, auspiciousness, Mahalakshmi. Then there is Rudra, Devi Shakti of Parvati accompanies him, right? So it is to understand that about everything that goes on in this universe, Devi is at the focal point. She is the Shakti that drives all of this. She is that energy which is driving all of this. So we are talking about one root cause that is doing all this. So that form is Devi Lalita. We have to understand that from this Nama. Clear? Clear? Annapurni ji? So Devi is...
Sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so Devi is abiding in the fourth peak in the middle of the three peaks on the top of Meru mountain. There is her city which is called Srinagara. She is a queen of that city. And within that city, she has a Chintamani Griha. And within that Chintamani Griha, she is sitting on the Pancha Brahmas as her asana, as her seat, royal throne. Now, more about Chintamani Griha is mentioned in 23.5. Mahapadmatavi Samstha Kadamba Vanavasana. Padmatavi means lotus forest. There is a forest only with lotuses. And Devi's Chintamani Griha is in such a forest of lotuses. And in one of her gardens, there is Kadambavana. What is Kadambavana? Kadamba tree, you know. Maru. Marikorindu, Maru. It's called Kadambavana. So in that Kadambavana, in one of her gardens is Kadambavana, within which there is Devi's Chintamani Griha. And all of this is surrounded by Sudha Sagara. I told you, right? Ocean of Amrita. Sudha means Amrita. Ocean of Amrita. Within the ocean of Amrita, there is an island. That is called Manidveepa. Mani means gems, right? So there's an island of gems. There are 25 compartments. 25 prakaras. You cannot even imagine that. Within the 25 prakaras, in the end, after the 20 prakara, Devi's Chintamani Griha is there. Okay. So, the outer prakaras of Chintamani, of Srinagara, the outer precincts, 25 in number. Okay, on the island of gems, there is Srinagara, which is in the middle of Sudha Sagara. And in the ocean of Amrita, there is an island, Manidveepa. On that island, there are 25 precincts, outer prakara. Okay. So, what are these 25 prakaras made of? One is made of iron, another is made of lead, copper, bronze, brass, panchaloha, silver, gold, blue gem, Indranilamani. Then pearls, rubies, emeralds. Then there is one prakara where all the 9 gems are studied. Okay. Then there's one prakara where all kinds of pearls are available. All precious stones are available. Then our mind principle is one prakara. Our intellect principle is one prakara. Then our ahankara, identity principle is one prakara. Then another prakara is Surya's sun. Another prakara is that of Chandra. Then another prakara is that of Manmatha, desire. Okay. So in the eighth prakara, there is Kadambavana. Okay. There, Devi's Prime Minister, Shyamala Devi, Mantrini Devi resides. And in the 16th prakara is Devi's General, Commander-in-Chief. We are going to see all these people in the subsequent verses. She's called Dandini or Varahi. She is in the 16th prakara. Okay. In the 17th prakara, all the yoginis reside. In the 18th prakara, Mahavishnu resides. In the 19th prakara, Ishvara resides. In the 20th prakara, Tara Devi. And the 21st prakara, Varuni, the deity for water. Okay. In the 22nd prakara is our Ahankara, identity prakara. There resides a Devi called Kurukulla. She is the power of identity. In the 23rd prakara, there is Surya. And in that resides Martanda Bhairava. In the 24th prakara, there is Chandra. And the 25th prakara, there's something called a Shringaravana, the forest of desires, forest of erotic love. There resides Manmatha. Okay. And within the 25 prakaras, there is this huge forest of lotus, Mahapadmatavi. Atavi means forest, Maha means great. It's a huge forest with only lotuses. The first island, there's a place is called Srinagara. There's an island called Manidveepa. There are 25 prakaras. Within the 25 prakara, there is Mahapadmatavi, the great forest of lotuses. Within the great forest of lotuses, okay, there is Chintamani Griha right at the center. So the place Devi arose from, Chidagni Kunda, is in the Agni corner, Agni Mulai of this Chintamani Griha, which is the southeast corner. There are 4 doors. There are 4 devatas in all these 4 doors. Okay. And there are 9 avaranas, enclosures, which is called Sri Chakra. So there's a Sri Chakra, 9 enclosures within the Chintamani Graha. In the center of this, there is Pancha Brahmasana, and she's sitting on the lap of Shiva, or she's keeping Sadashiva as a plant. She's sitting there in the Bindu Mandala, 1 point. So we need to understand that the entire universe has come up from 1 point. Even the Big Bang theory says the same thing, right? There was a single point from which everything burst and started multiplying. So this is that. Okay. Which is why we have the names Mahapadmatavi Samstha. She, the one who resides in Mahapadmatavi, Kadambavana Vasini, the 8th prakara, where there's a Kadambavana. She's also present there. Where is all of this? It is in the middle of Sudhasagara, the ocean of Amrita. And what is she doing there? She is the embodiment of Kamakshi. Ka means Saraswati, Ma means Mahalakshmi. So the one who has Saraswati and Mahalakshmi as her eyes, one meaning. Kama means desires, Akshi means eyes. She is the one who fulfills her devotees' desires just by her eyes. Kamakshi. Okay. Then, one more meaning. There is so much love and desire in her eyes. She's radiating love to the unconditional love to the entire universe through her eyes, Kamakshi. It is her eyes which make even Parameshwara fall down. He is the one who's conquered desire. He's conquered Manmatha, right? He can never be disturbed by anyone. But looking into Devi's eyes, he gets disturbed. So she is called Kamakshi. So much meaning to Kamakshi. Okay. Kamakshi, Kamadayini. She is the one who fulfills all the desires of her devotees. Kama means desire. Dayini means giver, the one who gives. Okay. So she grants all desires to her devotees. That was these two shlokas. I know it took a long time, but there's so much of philosophy in it, and I hope you understood all of this. Right? We'll start with Bhandasura Vada in the next class. Any questions? No?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll see them in the next class.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.